Alright guys, so we're working on the Samsung dryer. Of course, the model number is in the description of the video. This is how to tell if you possibly have a broken belt. What happened was it stopped in mid-cycle, but all the lights were still on. I turned it off, thinking maybe it was just jammed up or something. This dryer is about 8 years old, maybe 9. So I turn it back on. I see that warning symbol flashing there. It's just telling you, it's just reminding you to clean out your lint trap. It's supposed to do that every time. I looked that up. I thought it was a warning or something, but it's not. It's just reminding you to clean out your lint trap. But basically all the lights are on. I have it set to time dry and I press go and it says it's drying. And this light here is blinking, but obviously the drum is not turning and you don't hear the motor turning or anything like that. So I unplugged it for a little bit, plugged it back in, same exact thing. So then I took the top off and I immediately saw this busted belt in there. You can see it just snapped right there. I was drying some pretty heavy things at the time. I was drying some bath mats, and they didn't do really well in the spin cycle, so they were still pretty heavy. So I'm sure that's what caused that belt to break. It made it about 15 minutes into the cycle before it broke. But you can see this belt is pretty thin. And so I'll show you the upgraded one I got to replace it with. It's much thicker, and it's even wider than this original factory one. So I'll show you that in just a second. I found this kit on Amazon, and I'm really glad that it came with upgraded rollers, because my rollers, they're not broken or anything, but they were starting to make some noise. So this comes with upgraded drum rollers, 4 of them. And these ones are much sturdier than the factory ones. I'll show you once we open up the dryer. It comes with a new idler arm and pulley. Looks like it doesn't come with a spring. Oh, there's the spring right there. So it comes with a new spring as well. And then here's the new belt. And you can see, well, it's hard to see through the bag. One second. Yeah, so it is a little bit thicker this way than the original. And it looks to be a little bit sturdier. Maybe it's more reinforced. Now that I'm looking at it though, you know what? No, I lied. It's the same height, but they claim it's an upgraded version, so hopefully it has more tensile strength than this one does. Anyway, let's open this thing up and show you how to replace this bad boy. First thing you're going to want to do is remove the 2 screws from the back. There's going to be one right there. There's going to be one on the other side. It's a Phillips screw. Oh, sorry, this thing says it's turning off. Okay. All right, got it. Quiet. And then what you can do is you can get your fingers right under the edge and pull backwards. Once you pull it back, you'll see this come up, and then you lift the whole thing up. You can see that's where the belt rides right now. So so as soon as I pulled on the belt to feel tension, it came loose, and I knew that it was broken down underneath. All right, we've got the top off. The next thing you're going to want to do is take the door off. You're going to take out this screw and this screw, and then hopefully yours has a catch screw on it. I'm not sure if mine does or not. I know some models have a catch screw because I just recently repaired one for my girlfriend and hers did. But be prepared to support the bottom of the door just in case it does fall off. But some of them have a catch screw in behind there, so you can take those out and then it lifts up and out. Yeah, so this one does have a catch screw. So it's just kind of hanging like that. And you'll slide it up and pull it out. So there's that catch screw, and it goes in that slot right there. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take out this screw, this one, and this one. So those 4. And then you're going to come up to the top and take out this one, and this one. And then the whole front should lift up and out. Once you have these top screws out, you can kind of lift up a little bit on it and then pull it back towards you. And don't pull too far, because you've got these 2 connectors that you need to undo. And then you can lift this whole front control center off. All right, so we've got that taken off, and then, oh, it says Big Bang. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's the name of this machine or not, but it did do a big bang when it broke. Anyway, we're gonna take out these 2 screws here, and those 2 close together ones there, and then this whole front assembly should come off. Those screws removed, just pull it towards you, and be careful because you've got another connector right here that you're gonna have to undo. I might need 2 hands for that, but undo that connector and then the whole front assembly will come off. Once you have it disconnected, there's just those 2 slots down there at the bottom, so just lift up and the whole thing will come off. Here's where it starts getting fun. So the blower motor is behind here. The blower motor actually operates the blower that pulls air out of the heating element. So this is the heating element in here. Can't see in there too well, but that's the heating element. So the air gets heated up there, it gets pulled through, and then the heated air comes in here, and then it gets pushed out through your lint trap and then out to exit your house. So that same blower motor also turns the drum. You can see that the drum is turning freely and the motor's not turning because the belt is not connected right now. So we need to get in behind here. The best way to do that is we're going to remove that screw there, and then that screw there, and take this assembly off, and then we'll be able to get to that motor better. Forgot to tell you about that screw. So there's one more right here on this side. Grab that. So there's 4 altogether. We're gonna need to remove this entire drum assembly to get underneath it, because if we were just doing the belt, we might be able to kind of fish it underneath there. It might be tough, but it might be doable. I'm not even gonna try because I have to take it all apart anyway. Because you can see the rollers are here. The rollers are underneath. There's none on top. So there's 2 in the front, one's there, and one is on this, oh, down there. That's the other one. And then there's 2 in the back. So we have to remove this whole drum in order to get to those rollers anyway. So the first thing we're gonna have to do is take this top part off, because this drum is too big to slide straight out towards us. So we're gonna have to take out that screw, and that one and that one. This should come off, this big bang part. And then we'll remove the 4 screws that hold the drum in. There's 2 on each side. And then we should be able to pull the whole drum out towards us. All right, we've got that top part off. Now we're gonna have to get this wiring harness out of the way. So we'll disconnect this one here, and then we'll undo these clips, and then we'll tuck the whole wire off to the side out of the way, the whole wiring harness. I just removed those 4 screws that I showed you on the front assembly, and it just lifts up and out, and then you're gonna have to disconnect that sensor down there. But you can see I've got my 2 rollers right there. But yeah, make sure you disconnect that sensor before you yank on it. All right, once I had that piece set to the side, I could just lift the whole drum up. I just had one hand on the front, and I got one hand kind of like in the back, and you can it's not very heavy, but you can just kind of like pick it up and out. And here you go. There's your other 2 rollers that you're gonna replace if you do that part. There's our heating element. There's another video on how to replace this. This one is brand new. I just replaced it like 2 months ago. Of course, these things can't all fail at the same time, so you can just get it over with. Maybe if I was gonna do it again, I would rebuild it, the whole thing at the same time. I'm gonna get a vacuum and vacuum some of this stuff out of here, but there's the motor. Here is the idler arm with the idler pulley. This pulley is like really hard to turn. That could have contributed in part to why that belt broke. So I'm glad I have a new pulley, because it's like really, like I should not. Oh, and there's a crack in it too. You see the crack? Yeah, there's a crack in it too. So I'm glad I got the new idler arm and the new spring. But basically what this is supposed to do, there's a switch right here. And when the belt is under tension, it's pulling up on this idler pulley. And if the belt breaks, when the pulley arm falls down by gravity, it hits this switch, closing that switch, and it removes power from the motor. So the motor won't sit here and keep spinning without the belt. So it'll shut the thing down. It's kind of like a safety thing. Just like I was saying before, this is how your air works. So this is your blower right here. That spins with the motor. Okay, that's gonna pull air through. So the hot air is gonna come in through here. It's gonna get heated, cold air is gonna come in here. It's gonna get heated up in the element here. It's gonna go up behind there. It's gonna blow out inside the drum right there. And then the old air is gonna come down here. This is where your lint trap would be. And it goes in here, and then it gets blown directly out the side of your house or whatever. So that's how it works. Let's get to work with replacing the rollers and the idler arm. I'm gonna vacuum this all out first though, and then we'll go from there. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is replace the idler arm. I already loosened this screw right here, but you're gonna take that screw out right there, and the whole idler arm that comes off, and then make sure you remember the orientation of that spring so you can put the new spring on. Looks like there's a little bit of rust in there, but I'll just clean that up a little bit and we should be good. I just replaced the spring. The side that connects to that metal part is going down, and this end that hooks to the idler arm is going up. The hook is placed up. And then it came with a new screw. I don't know why we would need a new screw, but maybe in case the old one got stripped out or something. But that's pretty cool. The kit came with a new one, so I'm gonna put it in there and it'll be on. We got the new idler arm on. Make sure you don't over torque that screw, because if you do, this arm won't move, and you do want it to be able to move up and down. So make sure you don't over torque that screw. We're gonna replace our rollers here in the back. I'm just using a small crescent wrench. You can see, well, maybe you can't see very good on video, but there is 2 flat sides on here. Get this fuzz off of here. There's 2 flat sides on here that you can grab with pliers or a crescent wrench, or if you find the right end, right size box wrench, you can slap that on there too. But this whole thing just screws out, and then this whole roller will come off. Well, it wasn't as easy as I thought. There is a nut on the back side of that, so you're gonna have to get a 17mm wrench and put it up behind there and slide it on to hold that while you loosen up that roller. All right, I've got it out of there. When you put it onto the dryer, right there's the hole that it goes to. You're gonna have a washer on each side. So you're gonna have a washer in the front, and then you're gonna have to reach around on the back side and put the washer and the nut. The new rollers do not come with the washers and nuts, so make sure you don't lose those. You will need them. I'm not sure what these little clips are for, but the old one has the clips on it still. I thought maybe that these were just used for shipping, but it does have these little plastic clips on there. I'm gonna go ahead and leave those on there since they're on the old ones. And now we're gonna put this new roller in there. We got the one new one on. You can see here's the old one. That still rolls kind of good, but look at this one. It's like a roller blade. So gotta replace that one there. And then the 2 over here on this assembly, and then we'll be good on the rollers. All right, I'm gonna try to show you how to put this belt on with one hand because I'm holding the camera. But here's the easiest way to remember. Just make a loop. Your grooves are going to be on the insides. Your grooves, if you can't see them here, you will be able to feel them. Those grooves have to go on that motor shaft. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the loop around the motor, and then both belts are going to go underneath that idler pulley, and then you're going to pull it straight up, and then the drum is going to go through here. So you're going to put it around the drum. So now I'm going to try to hold this on so it doesn't slip off and get the drum through there at the same time. Should be a little bit challenging, but and maybe you want to get 2 people for this, but I'm gonna try to do it by myself and see how it goes. All right, so that was not as easy as I thought it was gonna be, but you can see the belt is in place, and I'm gonna gently turn the drum with one hand. You can see that the belt is turning, it's on the idler, and when I turn the drum, the motor turns as well. So I know I'm in the correct position. What I did, this whole thing, I just tilted it backwards and leaned it against the wall to make it easier to get underneath here, so you don't have to get face flat on the ground. But what I did, you can see some Scotch tape up here in a couple places. Just to hold the belt in place while I got it around the idler pulley, I taped it in place on top of there because it kept sliding back. But you may have to get a little creative, but I trust that you'll be able to get it. And then once we get this front assembly back on, this drum will be locked in and that belt isn't going anywhere. All right, I've got the 4 screws back in. This, when you put the front thing back on, just make sure you kind of get the rollers up underneath that lip of the drum, excuse me. And then now you can reach in and grab one of these pedals and give it a little spinsy and make sure that your motor here is spinning with the drum. There you go. That verifies that your belt is still in place. And just making sure you look up top and just make sure that your belt is tracking properly. Should be in that groove. And you're good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put for the lint trap, that assembly back on there. Well, I still have this tilted back against the wall. Just easier to get to. Put that back on. And then everything else I'm going to do, I'm just going to reverse the order of how I took it apart. And hopefully you remember where all the stuff goes. If you don't, just rewind the video and you'll see. So I'm going to put it all back together and then I'll show you the test drive. I have it mostly put back together. It's back enough to test. I don't have the door on and I don't have the top on, but I wanted to see what's going on. So all you got to do is hold this button in right here when you press the start button. And I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to need both hands to turn it on, but then I'll start filming again once it's running. All right, so hopefully you can hear me. It's running. You can see everything's moving quite well. I'm holding in the door close button so that it thinks the door's closed. But I'm happy with the way that the belt is tracking. Everything looks good. It's not like moving back and forth. It's not popping off or anything like that. And the rollers sound much quieter. Like I said, they were making quite a bit of noise before I upgraded them. So everything looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and put the door on and put the top on, and this is considered repaired. Thanks, y'all. See you on the next one.